Dave Willis stated, "Any success that you achieve at the expense of your family is not real success." As an endurance coach and physiotherapist, it has become increasingly apparent that peak performance in any aspect of life is linked to cultivating healthy personal relationships. Our family unit, however that is made up, is our relationship platform. How we treat our partners and our children will set up our journey towards holistic well-being and improved performance. Kia ora team, Coach Brad here all the way from Aotearoa, New Zealand. Now, as a young athlete, I was pretty selfish. I used to train around 15 hours a week and I was hyper focused on performance. I was running marathons and Ironmans, and yeah, all I cared about really was my training. Now, I got married in 2004, and since then we've had two beautiful daughters, Eva who's 13 and Stella 11. I still love my training. I still love getting out into nature with my mates and moving my body. It makes me feel good mentally and physically. So it's about trying to get that balance right now, because when I'm training, when I'm enjoying my training, I know that I'm a better father, I'm a better husband, I'm a better physiotherapist, a better friend, a better coach. So it's really important to make sure that I get that balance right between my training and making sure that it's enhancing my more authentic roles in my life. Let's face it, 99.999% of you watching this video are not professional athletes. Your running and exercise is not the main focus in your life. It should be family first, occupation second, and then fitting in your training around those more authentic roles in your life. I know running is awesome and we love it, but we have to find a rightful place in our schedule to fit it in. If you prioritize training over those other roles in your life, you're being unauthentic with those roles. Your action is not matching your intention. And if this is continued, it's just going to create chaos. Think of your authentic intention as your sailing destination, and your action is movement towards that destination. If your action doesn't match intention, you're going to end up sailing way off course, and you'll never reach authenticity and you'll be stuck in stormy seas. I want to share with you my top tips on how to navigate the training family balance and how to keep you on course. This balance has to be fluid, especially when the kids are young and growing fast. Schedules have to change and adapt too. So tip number one, communication. Most disagreements happen in households due to poor communication. Now, when our kids were young, we would have family planning meetings every 6 weeks or so. We would sit down in front of our wall planner and our computers and make sure that we knew what we had to do in our roles as parents. Who was taking kids to swimming? Who was picking kids up from school or taking them to school? Who was doing the meal prep? Who was making the meals? Who was doing the shopping? We made sure that we knew what our roles were so that we could get into that flow. Now that our kids are a little bit older and a little bit more independent, we don't have to have those planning meetings as often, but they are still a really important factor in helping with that family flow. When your weekly schedule is then written down and you can see it, you can then see where your training can fit in. So then you put that training in and you appreciate it because you realize it's a small window of opportunity and you want to take it. And so you don't take it for granted. Before you plan your training, communicate, understand and plan the other roles first. When you do this, you will save endless negotiation discussions on a daily basis of where your training should fit in. So tip 2 is train early. Now, when I was training for marathons, I used to find it really good to get up early in the morning midweek. So this would mean that I could get my long runs done midweek and not interfere with the weekend, which was precious family time. On the weekend, I got to spend time with my daughters, my wife, and I used to get chores done around the house. If you try to do your long sessions on the weekend, it could really negatively impact that family flow. So getting up midweek was a great way not to interrupt that family flow, get that training done, and then be able to enjoy the weekend with the family. And you know, getting up early is great. It's a brilliant way to start the day. You get that circadian rhythm going with that early sunlight, which helps with hormonal release and health in a whole heap of ways. So getting up and training early is a really excellent way, not only to help with family flow, but also help with your well-being and health. Your kids are only young once, so make sure you get involved, do the hard graft, support. Love is an action, not a feeling. So make sure you put that work in when the kids are young, and you'll get the benefit later on, I promise. Those early hours in the morning on weekdays can be an excellent tool to get your training done and to save the weekend hours for precious family time. It's not a bad time to be training either. Tip number 3, blend your training in with family activities. When my girls were young, one of my favorite training sessions was buggy running down to the park. So I'd buggy run with both of them in the buggy. Then we'd get out, they'd have a bit of a play in the park. I'd throw on a few push-ups and pull-ups while playing a game of tag. Then we might have an ice cream or a fluffy. And then we'd get in the buggy and jog home. That was one of my favorite sessions. And it was fantastic. I got a little bit of upper body work in, a little bit of an easy jog, and also I got to spend some quality time with my girls outside playing in the local park. Blending a little bit of micro training in with those family activities is not only great for you to get a bit of training in, but it's also fantastic for the kids because it demonstrates how important physical activity is. Kids learn by you demonstrating. They will learn far more by your actions than by your words. So when they see you moving outside, having fun, working out, taking care of your body, it's a great lesson for them to take forward into their development. As my girls got older, they got more into the arts, more into playing the ukulele and guitar and singing and arts and crafts. They don't love running, but they understand that running and going outside and moving makes them feel better. It makes them deal with anxiety and stress better. Nowadays, my girls come out for family jogs with us and walks in the forest. And even though they don't love running, they do understand how important physical activity is for their holistic well-being. So, it's family first. While the kids are young, your training should take a back seat so you can be authentic with your role as parent or caregiver and partner. Communicate and plan so you can see where your training is going to fit in your week with less impact on the family unit. Use those early hours. Those early hours in the morning are a great way to train with, again, having less impact on that household flow. And 3, blend in your training with family activities. So micro chunk of activities with some family time, and it's a win-win. So go out and earn those miles. Be authentic with your training around the most important roles in your life. And I look forward to catching up with you on the next video.